I know what you meant.
Cool. Well, we're live. So welcome everybody. Welcome to another Run Wild with Us, and you can ask us anything. I am Lisa Kastner. I'm the founder of Running Wild, and I'm here with some of our incredible, amazing editors, specifically Ben.
Yeah, me.
And we're here to answer. We can answer any old questions that you may have.
We're back on Thursdays.
We're back on Thursdays, right? Yes, and everyone's going to be like, "What the hell are they doing?" But yes, we are back on Thursdays. So how this works is, if you have never seen this before, we basically, you go ahead and you put your comments into whatever venue you're watching, and then I'll repeat it, and then we take turns in responding to whatever that question is. So, or comment, whatever. And if you're watching this and you're like, "What? This is recorded. I don't know what's going on." That's okay. I don't know what's going on either. So we're all, we're all even. But in this case, so if you're watching this and you're watching the recording and it's not between 5 and 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern time, that's okay. Because typically what'll happen is we record this. So what'll happen, we will go ahead and repeat the question and then take turns answering it. And this is weird. So one of our fellow scribes, she is, so Cecilia was going to join us, and it looks like there's something weird going on. Let me see if I'm going to invite her. I know, it's like, how dare you?
That's no good.
Yeah, that's no good. Let's see.
Because she's coming through StreamYard?
Yeah. It's showing that she's in the waiting room, but that doesn't make any sense. Because, yeah. So I don't know. So I just sent her a link. So maybe the link that I just sent her will work.
Good.
Yeah.
So where are you?
Me?
Yes.
I'm in my guest room / office.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you were on the road somewhere. It's like a hotel.
Oh, no. No, it's just good old
oh yeah,
Teddy Bear Central.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Sorry about that. I have no idea what went wrong. It's just very strange.
No worries.
We were both like, that doesn't make any sense.
What waiting room have we sent you to?
Yeah, but then we both used the same link, and it took us right to it, so it doesn't make sense. But hey,
we made it somehow. We had to take a detour, a little bit of a shortcut, but yeah.
Okay.
There's got to be a short story in there somewhere, stuck in the waiting room for StreamYard.
That would be great.
Forever.
That would be a good one. A waiting room in multiple dimensions.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And you rotate through.
So how are
through the 2 doors to see.
Yeah. So Ben, Cecilia, what are you guys up to? What's new and exciting?
Well, I've got two manuscripts I'm working on, and I love them both. They are amazing, and the authors are amazing. I got a chance to meet them. And one is just like absolutely epic. It's part of a series and a larger story. There are warriors on horseback, royalty, ghosts, betrayals, all kinds of things happening, and I love it. The other one is a mixture of Indian folklore with horror and psychological horror. So it's brilliant and it's also funny as well. So two really amazing stories to work on. So I'm having a great time.
Oh, yay! We
Stop
love
right
that. You should have a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been great. I'm also working with Flash Fiction Magazine as a contest editor.
Oh, cool.
And there are so many, oh my gosh, so many really, really great stories that people have sent in. And I love that many of them have just gotten weirder and weirder. I think it's great. I love it. I'm thinking we're seeing a trend for weird stories. So I'm all for it.
Hey, that works. Yeah, I'm in the middle of editing the novellas. And man, these are some solid novellas. I mean, like seriously. I mean, it's like it's not even cleanup work.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I agreed. Like we're really bringing them in, so that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Ben, are you working on the short story anthologies or no?
It runs through May 31st, so I'm close. Yeah, I'll start selecting next month. Right now, I'm working on the Children of the Atomic Reservation, Rodolfo's book.
Ah.
And, I've started it, but it hasn't picked up speed yet. No, I haven't picked up speed yet. The book is fine. But we got Sounds Like Trouble to Me. We got that to production a couple of weeks ago. And so that's with Evangeline, and Jean just filled out the marketing survey or questionnaire. So that's rolling. And then we're still working on the poetry anthology.
Oh yeah, how's that one going?
It's still waiting for me.
And you two were like, "Oh man, we want to have a poetry anthology." I went, "Okay."
We're all about it till it happened.
Yeah, that tends to happen. Absolutely. That is very true.
Actually, Peter's been working on it more than I have, so I've got to get in there and follow him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And see.
Sorry, so somehow his meeting invite ended, which doesn't make any sense also. So this doesn't make any sense. Like these are things that are like physically impossible. There's no way that you should have been stuck in the waiting room, and there's no he shouldn't have. I don't understand. It just doesn't make any actual physical sense. It's just a URL. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll just resend it again.
The waiting room has a revolving door.
This is so weird. It just doesn't make any sense. It's completely illogical. Okay. All right. Well, I just resent it, and you can tell me to kiss off. That's fine. I don't know what's going on. This is so weird.
I
That's
think
like I was I lost my passport, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get a replacement, right? No big deal. And yeah, so the location doesn't exist.
oh,
I made an appointment and everything, and there's no physical actual location, and it's a
wow.
warehouse. Yeah, and I was like, okay. So now I made a new appointment at USAA in the hopes that it'll, or not USAA, at a AAA, in the hopes that it'll still be there. Like, it was so weird. Okay, now we have Peter. Sorry, my mouse is acting up. Cool.
Here I am.
There you are. Sorry, I have so it's the exact same link from last week.
Huh.
And so there's no absolute physical reason why you couldn't get in. And yeah, this is all very.
Yeah, it just said it ended for some reason at an hour almost exactly. And I'm like, Ben did this. I know he did this.
Hi, Peter.
Well, we knew that. Of course it was Ben. Who else would it be?
Exactly. He's a nefarious one.
Oh, well, so Rod has a question for us. So do you have any advice on finding an agent? I love to write, but I hate selling. I love how everyone looks like, I don't want to answer that question.
I've never tried to find an agent, actually. My sister-in-law did. She found one right away for
Oh, wow.
children's books. And she had everything finished and she thought she was going to get published right away. But it took like, I don't know how many more years, 15, 20 more years before she was finally published. Right. So it takes a while for her. She got the agent right away, but not a publishing house. And so, yeah, it's kind of strange. Sometimes it happens right away and sometimes it doesn't, but I've never tried.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah, that's the disconnect that I found myself, is that there is no right of way in publishing, to be
Right.
honest.
yeah,
I
not
mean,
anymore.
If you're able to get an agent, that's fantastic, but they still have to do the legwork to shop it around. They have the contacts, of course, but they're just pitching just like everybody else, like people pitch us here at Running Wild. So it's just finding the right match, finding the right editor, finding the right publisher.
I mean, honestly, I shortcut it. Like if someone
Of course
tells
you
me
do.
about, well, yeah, well, duh. But well, I mean, like if there's like an anthology or something like that, or some type of collection, which is an anthology, then and they mandate an agent, then I just reach out to an agent and ask if they would represent me, and I give them a pitch, and that's it. So, and I mean, basically, it's 9 times out of 10. Well, all right, yeah, it was set up. So,
But that is another way then to find agents. The more you join literary magazines and the more that you publish, the more that you reach out, you tend to find more people that you could ask and network with.
oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny. I want to say, like, in the last 5-10 years, actually in the last like 10 years, I know more people who don't have like a steady agent. They find places that they want to pitch to, then they kind of do like a soft pitch, and then like basically like, hey, is this the kind of thing that you might be interested in? And if the response is yes, then they turn around and reach out to like a mutual friend who's an agent, and ask them to send it forward. So that happens a lot more than it used to, from what I've seen. So
Yeah, if I put a link in the comment, it'll show up, right?
Yeah.
Can you see
It'll
that?
Yep.
Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. Do homework.
Yeah. I thought you always did that separately, but those come up at the same time. Okay, unimpressed. But that's from Poets and Writers magazine. They've got a list of literary agents that are looking. But my advice is to make sure you talk to them and make sure that you have a good relationship with them, because it's a marriage, and if it's the wrong partner, it's a bad marriage.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Sure.
yeah. Well, I mean, and actually, everyone I know who's happy about or happy with their agents, they did a lot of homework. You know, I mean, because they were like, okay, what do I want to do, like from a long-term view, and so that they have those relationships with the various, you know, publishing houses, which is smart. I mean, that's what you should do. You should, you know, go out of your way to, well, you know, just make friends with people, you know. Don't be my favorite not terminology, my favorite advice is, don't be a jackass, and because it's shocking how many people, go into it like, oh yeah, well, I'm so much smarter than you are, and it's like, wow, okay, well, that's fascinating. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it really is. It's shocking. The number of people that, like, the minute they hear their book is gonna be available, all of a sudden, it's like they become well, I'm a bestseller, and they're not a bestseller. They haven't sold anything. So, it's like, again, it doesn't make any logical sense. So he's like, okay. Keith Carlock says, what is Running Wild about? Running Wild, we change the world through storytelling. So we actually have, how many imprints do we have now? Sounds awful.
For five.
Five.
Yeah. We have 5 imprints, and you are more than welcome. If you go to our website, you can get details on each one of them, and which is runningwildpublishing.com. So we basically seek out great storytelling with great writing, and slightly different, I guess you could say slightly different packages all along the way. So and what we do is we publish the book in ebook, paperback, hardback if it makes sense, audiobook, and we also do short story anthologies, and we've done collections as well. And then and then we make the licensing available to be made into other stories, which is great. So lots of great opportunities for authors. So I don't know, I think I just summarized that in a really bad way.
Well, I love the way you have it on the website too, that stories that don't always fit inside a box as well. So there's usually some kind of a twist or something different about the storytelling that's engaging as well.
And that really makes it a lot of fun. And I know, at least for me, when I was first starting off, just just writing, I would get so frustrated because there were all these, like, I'd have these great ideas, and I'd write these stories, and man, I couldn't get shops to pick them up. And I knew so many people who were just, like, really, really talented storytellers who just simply could not get published, and it did not make any sense to me. And that's that's really what started Running Wild. So Brittany Bell says, I noticed a shift towards fantasy and sci-fi with some of the new imprints. Are you still accepting submissions in other genres? Just curious. Oh, of course. Absolutely. Yeah. We love all genres. Really. The only things that I'd say, like, we may say, I don't know that we're the right fit, is something like if it's like children's books or like middle grade, things like that, because we're not knowledgeable. I would not claim that in a million years. I don't know. Ben, Peter, what do you guys think?
I think we're very selective on even collections of poetry. We like it with a theme, like Lost Song of some Nina Simone. I forgot the title. Yeah.
The Lost Song of Nina Simone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost Songs. That's true.
Yeah. So, but we're open. I don't think there's anything we've turned down based on a genre. Graphic novels we're not the right fit for, but now even monstrous books may change that if it's the right book for monstrous.
I'm actually working with James now on potentially taking some of our school's fabulous, some of our stories and making them into graphic novels. So
Nice.
yeah, which, you know, I'm really excited about now. I just have to find the time to do it. That's all. But yeah, and I don't know, Cecilia, is there anything that like you really look forward to checking out? Like anything that you're really excited about?
I love the horror genre, but then I also have enjoyed some of the memoirs that have come along. And you know, it just kind of depends on you look at those first few pages and you get a sense of whether or not it's gonna gel. So I don't try to just limit it to just horror, although I am drawn to it. I do keep my mind open to other possibilities as well. So it just kind of depends on, you know, how those first few pages go and the topic, because there are a lot of great topics out there as well.
Oh yeah.
So I keep an open mind.
Excellent. Ben, Peter, how about you guys? Is there anything that you're really looking forward to getting your hands on?
I'm looking for passionate storytelling, something where the author really draws the reader into the story in terms of compelling plots, a lot of plot twists, something that the reader can really jump into and really ride along for the storyline. Again, yeah, the first few pages are critical because they set the tone, they set the pace. But I also want to see all the senses. I want to see the environment. I want to feel the emotions. I want to hear the sounds. I want to taste the tastes. You know, I really want to be immersed in the environment of the world of the story. So that's what I'm looking for with Trompe l'oeil.
Ah, cool. How about you, Ben? Ben.
I'll just go from there and start with the story as well, and then add a sense of place. I think that's some of what Peter's alluding to. But if you can give me the sense of place, the people and the culture of the place, and the history of the place, you know, because the place itself may be the story. If you can pull it off, it may be what the draw is in the first place.
Yeah.
But I've gotten one from Eastern Kentucky, which I grew up close to Eastern Kentucky in South Central Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
So but it has to be done right, you know, because your audience may be from there and say that's not right, and so you've got to make it true. And if it's a sense of place or good characters, a good story, it's still got to ring true. Right.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I hadn't thought about culture very much, but it's a very good point. Like I'm from Chicago and I know what Chicago feels like. And if somebody from Pittsburgh is trying to talk about being from Chicago, they're not going to get the terminology right. They're not going to get the feel right. They'll know what a city is, but not that particular, that exact city.
Yeah.
So that's a good point to bring up. That's great. Yeah.
Well, and I think that oftentimes has to or what is really imperative is being willing to do the research and willing to find out from individuals who live and breathe it, so that when you do go to write it, that Pittsburgh story or that Chicago story, then you're gonna you'll use the terminology, maybe not exactly, or maybe not such that someone would mistaken you for a Chicagoan. Chicagoan. But close enough so that it would ring true for someone if they actually went to Chicago. So
Right.
yeah, no, that's a
There's
great
books
point.
out there about teachers that say write what you know. There's also teachers that say write what you don't know. So you can immerse yourself in another culture. You can immerse yourself in another area and get to know the feelings and the the knowledge and the culture and the details of that part of the country or that part of the world.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you going to learn? I mean,
right.
That it's funny. For my day job, at one point, someone was new to a program that I'm running, and someone had made the comment like, "Oh, he'll fail out," and I went, "Well, but you want him to, right? Because you want him to learn, and then that way he'll, move forward and do things, appropriately." And she just kind of stared at me like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Okay, I guess you don't learn. I don't know." Like, again, another like, "Wow, that's really weird. I have no idea why." Makes no sense. But okay. Sure.
What's the most unusual setting that you found a story in that was interesting? Unusual settings.
Like where I've actually physically been, or
Either actually, but like within the story, like where the story takes place. But also a most unusual place where you've ever read a story could be interesting too, I suppose.
I say the oddest thing, well, not oddest thing, but the most recent odd was a hotel in wine country. And I used my Hilton points, and let's just say it was definitely a motel where you use Hilton points. And let's just say that there were people of the evening who were in the room next to mine.
Oh.
And yeah.
Working?
Yes, they were, quite steadily working. And I was just like, wow, huh. Boy, I want to go home.
Somebody told me once that motel spelled backwards is let 'em.
I heard that a long time ago.
Yeah. I didn't want you to forget.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I needed that memory. Needed that little bit of jog. Yep. Yeah, that was they were very thin walls. Well, we'll put it that way. Oh God. Then Peter, how about you guys? What kind of interesting environments have you gotten to explore?
Well, that's a straight answer first. I mean, the books I edited, Magpie's
You go
Return, it
first.
turned a beautiful, lovely neighborhood into the darkest area that I could possibly imagine. I mean, the book still scares me about the possibility of it happening in real life. But I mean, there was nothing bright or airy about this environment, and yet it was just a simple town, a suburban town outside of a city. And the way the author described it, painted it, and described the characters and the storyline, it was just this horribly dark, depressing, dank area. The entire novel that had moments of uplift where there was hope injected into it,
Mhm.
but the overall arch of it was this down, depressing feeling that was like it was so gripping that you couldn't help stop reading because you wanted to see something good happen. And at the very end, a light did come on at the very end, and it was a very violent moment that he stopped the story just before the final action. But I mean, he completely changed my image of the environment of this town. It was incredible the way he painted it.
Huh. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
It reminds me of what Jonathan Kravitz did in How We Were Before. One of our authors in one of our books. It was a murder of an older couple, but the whole town was impacted by this, and he did it in a series over time, in flashbacks and jumping back ahead, but the town itself was dealing with that crime, and each scene was not necessarily all that sad or sorrowful, but when you put it all together, you say, "Wow, that one instance happened to this town, and it's going to impact that town forever." That's when you start feeling the sorrow for it, and you feel the pity for the town and all the people in there, because they went on living their lives. Some of them forgot, some of them remembered, some of them would be reminded, but the town itself always remembered. It was a direction change for the town, and which was very well pulled off. It was pulled off very well, and drew you into the characters, what they were doing, what they were seeing, why they felt that way, but also just the way the town was left.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have a motel.
They didn't have a motel. No, of course not.
As far as I wasn't reading the book, but in the Army, a good book made its way around because it just circulated. Everybody borrowed it. When somebody got done, they gave it to somebody else, and the same books got read. And I remember the sergeant reading the Jim Morrison story, "No One Gets Out of Here Alive."
Oh,
and he was
yeah.
sitting on top of a Connex box outside the barracks, and just sitting on top of it reading his book. And then all of a sudden, he put the book down and he said, "It's the people, man. It's the people." Okay, Sarge, thanks. And so just seeing the impact of some books is just as good as the place, maybe.
Well, how about you, Cecilia? I know that you were saying that you really you're into the one that you're doing now, right?
Yes. So yeah, the one I'm doing now, the two that I'm doing now are amazing. I just finished reading a book about the setting was a boarding school for girls back in the 1930s, and all kinds of weird things happened. But of course, the town had moved on, but that building was still there. So the ghosts were still interacting with people there. So that's where setting and place kind of merged to create this plot that's really interesting. And then in terms of place for me, where I read and write, I used to, my son was in swim, so it was always around the pool. I was always like at his practices or meets trying to write or read in between his sets. And so sometimes you write about, haunted pools and sometimes those kinds of settings come into your creep into your writing. But I am noticing fiction that centers around pools and water, which is really interesting.
That is actually, that's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. There have been a couple of pieces where it's like people are taking cliches and
Mhm.
using them in a different way
Mhm.
to formulate this, the story. And it's like, God, that's so clever. I'm not that smart. It's just fun, even, editing it, because it's like, good Lord, like, this had to have been published somewhere. I mean, there's no way.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I'm not that there's no way, but yeah. All right. So, but yeah, I mean, crazy good novellas that we've got this time around. So, I mean, it's a big wow. And then we're gonna have our next acquisition session when is our next acquisition session? It's on the calendar. It's the beginning of June, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we settled on the 7th
May 4th or June 4th.
June 4th.
or the 4th.
Or the 4th. Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's either the 7th or the 4th. Let's go with the 4th.
None of them, whatever. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten so many strong works. We have 2 amazing co-ops who are going through all of our submissions, and they're providing more than just like a thumbs up or thumbs down, but a summary of why. And I mean, they're like, holy crap, this stuff's great.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm not amazed. I know I'm 53. It took me this long to say, an intelligent sentence. So like,
The manuscripts that I'm working on are structurally sound. They're really good. So it's mostly line edits and that kind of thing right now for the ones that I have. They're quite sound stories, which is fun to do.
oh yeah, absolutely. Are you gonna go to StokerCon?
No, I've never been. I haven't been to a con, so I should probably go because I think it would be fun. All
You
of these
should.
AuthorCon, Comic-Con, StokerCon. I should go. I really should. I haven't been yet.
Yeah, StokerCon it's a lot of fun, a lot of really good people. And we're gonna do a pre-recorded remote I guess class. I don't know.
Oh wow.
Panel. Yeah, so you're welcome to join us. It's just it's how to work with an editor, which we could just put a sign that says don't be a jackass.
Yeah, that's all it is, really.
Right.
That's all you need to know. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So but yeah, you're welcome to join us.
That'd be cool. When is it?
I don't know yet. Because we're gonna record it,
Okay.
and we just have to record it in time for StokerCon. So yeah, and normally I would only have like 4 or 5 panelists, but I'm like, oh right, we're remote, so we can have as many as we want. Ha ha ha.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So but yeah, it should be fun. Yeah.
Do you wear costumes? I know that sounds so ridiculous, but I know people do wear costumes to San Diego Comic-Con and whatnot. But do they do this for the authors at StokerCon too?
I mean, some do.
Okay, so I won't.
I mean,
What you're gonna say, Lisa, was yes, they do. Everyone does, so you should too.
You're the only one walking
Don't
around
show up with
in a
it.
bunny suit or something.
That's so not right.
I didn't say it was right.
Some people, no, some people do. I mean, usually it's like if there's an author who has a very distinct way of dressing, there'll be individuals imitating that person, but it's not as dramatic, I guess you could say, as the cons.
Okay. I have an idea then.
Honestly, it's usually like goofy t-shirts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my Killer Clowns from Outer Space t-shirt on. I guess I would wear that again.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. Rod says, "Hey guys, I finally got a break from work. Saw you were on. Thought I'd say hi. Who's the pretty new face?" Well, I'm not going to introduce her. She gets to introduce her.
You know me.
She's one of our phantasmagorical editors, so you should just be jealous. I have no idea. Whatever. Rod wears fedoras a lot nowadays. Do you want to introduce yourself or?
Sure. Hi, I'm Cecilia, and I've been with Running Wild Press since 2021, I think.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so I've done 7 titles. I'm working on my 8th and 9th, but I tend to not take as many, but I have time now to take more. Yeah, I was born and raised in Ohio, and I taught English composition and Spanish at the college level for 20 years. And then my husband got a job in Washington State in Snohomish, and we moved with my son, who is now 22.
Wow.
And I did some freelance editing. And so I'm picking up more as we go along, as he's out of school more and more, and growing up, leaving the house.
How dare he? How dare he age
I
out?
know. Isn't that awful? No. You have to
No.
stay home forever.
Yes. We don't want him to stay little forever.
No. They are fun when they get older, though. They really are.
Are they now? Okay.
Yeah, they are. Like, hey, Mom, you want to go to a bar? Sure.
I don't need to know anything else. I think I'm good.
He's a good kid.
Oh, good. Yeah. Rod's like, great to meet you. You are among some of the best editors in the world. Well, that's very kind. And yes, he is, or she is. What am I saying?
But it's true. Anytime I have questions, I can ask, and I get great advice. So it is amazing. I love it. It's a good network.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We actually do have a pretty fabulous both author and editor network. So, and we keep on bringing on more and more amazing people. So, yeah, it's phenomenal. And the fact that people keep coming back is even more impressive. So, yeah. I just saw, did you see that Curtis, he has, they have an article about him in his school paper?
Yeah, I saw that. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
He's very a love teacher. That's awesome.
Yep. I loved his, when we did a 20 questions with him, a couple of years ago. And he was like, so, every day I get home, I have exactly 1 pint of beer. and then go off and, Right. And I was like, seriously?
Wow.
I mean, that's great, but don't you want to like be around people? Nope.
Well, when I first started writing, I just decided I didn't want to watch television anymore. I mean, I'd watch a little bit. This was during like the late 90s. I mean, once Friends was over, it's like, what's the point? You know, I'm in my 20s, doesn't matter. So I'm like, I put my 1 pint of beer, so I just turned off the TV, went to my studio, see what I could write. I was bachelor living by myself. I didn't have any responsibilities to be here, hang out with anybody or talk to anybody. So I just write from 9 o'clock till 11:30, 12 o'clock, just to see if I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished my first novel, thought I knew what I was doing, had no idea what I was doing, but I just built on it from there. I mean, I just wrote every night for years on end, just to do it, because that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to learn.
Mm.
And that led to growing, that led to conferences, that led to classes, that led to programs, that led to degrees, to get to the point where I'm at now. It's like, you read this stuff about, Picasso. It takes him 10 minutes to do this one sketch. That's worth $40,000. Like, how did it took you 10 minutes to do that? He's like, no, it took me 40 years to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
So here I am, 26, 30, 35 years, 30 years later, whatever. Now I know what I'm doing. So it takes that much time to learn your craft, to learn what you're doing, to make it make sense for not just yourself, for other people. So it just takes that time stacking on, doing it, and keep doing it, keep doing it. So, and I'm sure the story is the same for every one of you and for everyone that's out there. It's just determination and commitment. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Ben, what's your
I'm in my
story?
own blue stage now.
You have your own blue stage now.
Speaking of Picasso, I moved into my blue stage. No,
Okay.
I think it's right. It's just sitting down and doing it. And I said, well, I don't have time. But then you catch yourself watching reruns of Seinfeld and knowing every line that's coming up. That's wasted capacity that you could be doing something else. And the capacity you have is yours to do with what you want to do with it. And if you want to write, then write. Use your capacity to write, and don't wait for that invitation, because it may not be in the mail. But the more you write, I think the more you suit your own taste, and that's where satisfaction is. You can't write for anybody else. You may have an invisible audience out there, but how they respond to what you write really comes from within, and it's your own satisfaction. Say, well, I like that line, and I think Peter will tell you that his first novel, he really liked it. And then he got feedback on it and said, oh, maybe I need to work on this. But that's okay too. That's part of the process. I got 3 rejections this week. But
Wait,
for every rejection, I give myself $5. So it works.
So you personally have got 3 rejections this week.
Yes.
And for what? For poetry, for story?
Poetry, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. And these were submissions to journals. So not a collection, but just the individual submissions to journals.
You know what? I think I got 3 rejections this week too for short stories. It's 3 for 3. I think I did.
6 for 6. But actually, one of them was a collection. When I think about it, I tried to find out what it was, but I didn't have a record of what did I submit anyway. Oh well, it's $5 in the bucket.
Yeah. Well, hey. I'm in the middle of the first full round of revisions for the third in the Cure series, and then I think I think in June we'll open up the floor again for another anthology, another Cure anthology. So that should be fun. People had a good time, so including someone on this call. So Rod's like, Ben, following your example, I got me a scary red pen. Some writers have shivered. I feel so powerful.
Shivering is just stage one.
Oh,
Let me know when they just fall apart.
I
That's
never
what I
really,
go for.
I never really got into the whole red pen thing. I don't know. But on the other hand, I pretty much do all my editing on a computer. So yeah, I would hope. I wonder if we can change, like the strike through in the correction. I wonder if you can change it to red so that, like, as you're going through and editing, that would be fun. Terrify the person. Like, oh my God. How could you do this to me? So, wow, we only have like 9 minutes left.
Oh,
That's
wow.
insane. I know. So, Pete, you're getting called out, man.
What's up?
What's new? The Rodster's asking.
Oh, what's new? Well, my camera angle is different because I've got this Veridesk thing now, and the top of the computer is way up here, so I don't be looking down at me. But this lower camera thing is kind of like looking at my chin. So
Well, that's no fun.
no. Other than that, I'm just working on this. The winner of the Drexel Award, the inaugural Drexel Award winner, working on that novel. That's really cool. It's interesting that a lot of authors from beginner to experienced, they tend to they see the scene in their head, but they don't put the scene on the page. So it's like I'm always asking, where are we? What's going on around us? What's happening? Where are we in the greater scheme of things, and where are we up close? That's kind of the position where I'm at here. I mean, he's running through this story, and it's really exciting. And things are happening, introducing characters, and there's interactions going on. But he's flying by any sort of place. So I'm not saying the reader's not going to find any sort of place to walk through. There's no hallways. There's no chairs. There's no environment for the reader to be in to experience what's going on. The characters are all involved. The characters are all incredibly keyed into the situation that's going on. I mean, it's a violent situation, how the story started. But I just want to put more atmosphere into the story, more place, and like Ben said before, more culture, so that we know exactly where we are and how the people treat each other and themselves and their environment. So it's really interesting. It's a lot of work for beginning authors because there's a lot that they put their heart into that you need to sculpt with craft. So once you get them on the path, and I'm not saying this with any ego whatsoever, because this is a process that we're both on. Once you get them on the path, it moves so much better. What I say isn't funny.
You can have ego. This is allowed. You have edited how many best of the years?
I don't know.
God,
We keep track of that. I don't keep track of that. I
like
just
a half dozen or something crazy like that. I think
think-
you've earned it. I don't think you have to.
I'm just saying it's not about me. It's about the author. And like we were saying, what's the author's best attitude? The author's like, this is what I want. This is what I'm sticking to. This is how it goes. I'm like, okay, you can have it that way, but I'm giving you this information for a reason. Okay, I've done this before 3 times.
No, my favorite was when I can't remember which. Well, I know which author it was, but I'm not going to name him. The one who was like, oh yeah, like his wife looked over his shoulder and was like, what feedback did he give you? And he's like, no, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. And his wife goes, actually, no, it's not. This is what he's telling you.
That was fun.
Oh my God. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that clearly. Yeah, that was a fun novel. It got a lot better thanks to his wife.
Yeah, pretty much. He was gonna blow us off. Like he was like a heartbeat away. He was just like, "Yep, nope, I'm done." And she's like, "No, you're not."
Well, the people who love you the best and know you the most, they really often can help you take that criticism. Like, so anything that I write, I run it past my husband, and he's like, "That's not going to sell." And I'm like, "No, you're wrong. You're wrong. It'll get accepted." And I go to send it and it gets sent back. But anything that he's like, "No, I really like it," it does actually get accepted. So sometimes you espouse, a partner, somebody, best friend can be right. It hurts sometimes, but yeah.
And my husband will, yeah, he comes back with either like the, "Wow, this was great,"
Yeah.
or it's one of those like, "You sure you know what you're doing?"
Yeah.
And that's when I know, like, I think I need to take about 100 steps back. And then,
That's the issue with writing about a culture of a place.
Mm.
And even though you grew up in it
Mhm.
and you lived it and you know it,
no one else does.
but to get it across, then you've got to transcend it, and you've got to rise above it and look back down on it, because you can't write from within. So if you see culture failing, it may be because they're still trying to be in it, and you can't write about it. You can't be a Southern writer if you're still in the South. You gotta rise above what you see. And Southern, for example, it's anywhere, from any place. You can't be a Chicago writer unless you rise above the culture to see the culture.
So you have to exile yourself to some extent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why COVID was so great, because we were all exiled.
All exiled.
Yeah.
And now we're
We liked it so much we never went back.
But you have to go back to students, right? Or no? Do you have to go back to the classroom or no?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're back.
I think I thought so. I didn't remember you mentioning that you were exiled.
So the stern teacher and the ruler is back. Is that what it is? Wake up, kind of thing.
I'm a teacher from the Pink Floyd scene. You fancy yourself a poet.
Yes.
How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
I can easily do it. I know far too many. I'm actually surprised at the number of kids, or teenagers, who are fans of like Pink Floyd, and it absolutely blows my mind. Right, like Led Zeppelin. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. Like, but isn't there new music as well?
Not good new music.
No.
Not good new music. Oh, okay. So anyway, wow, holy moly. Well, we're already done. It's so weird. Well, Cecilia, I hope you join us again.
Yes, I'm going to come back for sure. Yes.
Thank you. This is great. Great to see you.
It's good to see you.
And for anyone who's watching and the recording, just go ahead and you can pause. Fabulous. You can toss your questions into the comment section of wherever you're live streaming this, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and we'll get back to you next week. So with that, have a fantastic time. All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks.
See ya.